really happy to announce that that we are just signed an ambassadorship program with Schedulicity. Schedulicity is a scheduling app, and they've been kind enough to help us out this next year.
Yeah, we met them in LA when we did the Salon Digital Summit, and they really believed in what we were doing and how we were doing it, and so they wanted to know how they can partner up with us to even reach more listeners and give what we give.
That's right. So with our partnership with Schedulicity, we will be able to reach more hairdressers, and we'll be able to bring a lot more content and get to a lot more hair shows. So hopefully we can see you guys out there in the hair shows when we're there visiting.
Yeah, and they're going to give us some business tips throughout the podcast as well. And I'm so excited that, we're partnering up with people that believe in the same things we believe in.
Yeah, no doubt. That's pretty exciting. So anyway, Schedulicity, once again, big shout out to you. And
thank you for joining
your day off. Silly. Hey, welcome to your day off. My name is Corey. And of course, I sit with my best bud, Tony. What's up, bud?
What's up, homie?
So today's interesting, man. So I was just going through my scroll, and the artist that we're going to talk to today, we've been following her for probably about 6 months or so, and she just wrote this really, I thought it was like a thoughtful and really cool post on Instagram, and I reached out to her. Well, first I sent it to you, and I go, hey, dude, you think this is going to make good content? And then you were like, yeah, let's talk about it. So then I reached out to her, and I was like, hey, do you want to talk about this on the podcast? And, about 3 seconds later, she's like, I'm down.
Yeah. And she, like we talked before we started this podcast, she has such a cool name too. Not everybody probably think the way I think, but it's like, her name's pretty cool. It kind of like a Wild Wild West, kind of like, gunslinger kind of, but yeah.
Well, she's kind of a gunslinger in what she's doing and what she's about to talk about,
Yeah. And what she's talking, what we're going to talk about today is totally relevant and what a lot of people are going through or thinking about doing.
Absolutely. So we've actually we've talked about this conversation, I guess, a few times. We did it with Nina. We did a little bit with Tim, right? So what we're going to talk about today is transitioning from a commission salon to a suite salon.
Yeah.
Right. Or to the sweet life, as we said with Nina. And the conversation today is pretty interesting because she's kind of doing it from the perspective of I've done it. I may miss some mistakes, and here's how I would do it differently. So I think that's going to kind of be the conversation today.
Yeah, and I'm totally, because we're in the same boat, right?
Yep.
And so I'm excited to hear her perspective and what she has to say and how she's going to help a lot of people make this decision.
Yeah, I love it. So should we bring her in?
Yeah.
So Miss Misty Jayne, welcome to your day off.
Welcome to the Wild Wild West.
Exactly. Hello, guys.
What's up, buddy? Well, welcome, man. Thanks. First off, I mean, really cool that you wrote that and that you decided to come on the podcast. I commend you and give you high fives. Boop, boop.
Yep. Thanks. I actually wrote it 2 months before I posted it, and I was terrified to post it.
Why were you terrified to post it?
Vulnerability, feeling like, saying you're lonely, nobody likes, so it would, but I was amazed at how many people reached back out and said that they felt the same. So I realized it was important to say.
Well, we're going to put her on blast now.
Right. So where are you from? Where did you grow up?
Virginia Beach, Virginia, born and raised, still live here. Pretty much the same zip code.
I have clients from Virginia Beach.
Yeah. I like it. We're never leaving. So
Sand Bridge, I hear that's a pretty cool place to kind of go visit the beach, just south of the beach, right?
Yep. I'm in the Chicks Beach area, so I'm a little further away, but
that's pretty awesome. So how did you get in the industry and all that jazz?
I hated high school. So I went to Votech during high school, and I graduated high school with my cosmetology license, and Have been doing hair since I was 19.
Oh, only a couple of years. That's great. That's great.
Yeah, right.
So, Missy, did you have to do an apprenticeship or anything, or did you just go straight to the floor?
I did not. I was told I had to, and about 2 months in, they pretty much put me on the floor. I just kind of had somebody following me around, essentially. So,
Well, some people
no.
are better than others when they graduate. So obviously she was one of the better ones because I had
no idea what I was doing.
None of us did, man.
right.
Yeah.
I was forced. There's no doubt. So let's go. So how long have you been doing hair?
16 years this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do the math.
So.
Exactly. So let's kind of get into it. So how long were you in the commission salon or in a salon?
My entire career until last year, beginning of last year.
Like 14,
so
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what, let's get into it. So you're in a commission salon for 15 years and you said that in one of your articles that, you know, some of the things that the salon takes care of it that, you know, you wish you would have known, I guess, when you open up your own suite. Can we get into the transitioning of your mind from, you know, a salon to a suite?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you think, you think you know what you're going to have to do, but you don't realize that you're going to have to come home every night and do towels, that you're going to have to answer client calls, you know, Monday through Sunday at all hours. The financial part of it, you don't have any idea what you're doing. The taxes, that was fun. So it's just the back end, you know, you don't, in a commission salon, you literally walk out the door at the end of the night and you go home and your mind is off and that's it. And you don't get that with a suite for sure.
Because you enter the business owner.
Exactly.
What were some of your biggest, like, oh, wow, that salon did that for me? Like, what were some of kind of your biggest ahas when you were out there?
I remember when I was in the first salon I worked at, we were in an area where haircuts shouldn't be, in my mind at the time, shouldn't be $95. But I realized now that I am in a suite that if you want to work smarter, not harder, I should say. Mm-hmm. I understood after 15 years why he did that once I was in the suite, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
so that was probably my biggest, now I get it after all these years. Yeah. So,
So what, like, I remember like the first time that I had to like, make like a back bar order and stuff and just how like intimidating and how crazy it was. Tell me about that.
I think the first order was the hardest for me. The first intro, you know, of all your color. And I knew it was going to be expensive, but it was a lot more, setting up the suite in general was a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be for sure.
I think a lot of people run into that, you know, because they think they just, you know, hey, I got a suite. I'm going to open the doors and boom, you know what I mean? I'm
right.
Good.
All I need is some scissors and I'm good. Yeah.
There's a lot going in because there's a lot of expense.
A lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt.
I had saved about $5,000 and I think I ended up spending 9 to 10 in the end. Yeah. So
your startup cost for about $9,000.
I would say not. Yes, but I'm a bit picky, so everything had to be perfect.
That makes sense, though.
But yeah,
products, color, right?
Yeah, I do retail, so that was a big one too. Yeah,
the first rule to get into suite life is like have some cash.
For sure.
And I mean, I tell you who was a big help with me too was our reps. You know, when the reps found out that we were opening a salon, like they were, you know, they took care of me as far as I use Redken, so it was our salon centric rep, but my rep really took care of me as far as like helping me get set up, and that was just a really good relationship to have at the time.
Yes, I agree 100%.
So I would definitely. What are they called? We call them reps, but they actually have a name.
I call him my rep.
Yeah, my rep.
Yeah, my rep. He's my
make sure you you reach out and you make relationships with these people before you go into your suite life, so you have that relationship already built, and they can actually help coach you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. That's
yeah,
a really good idea. All right, let's get into it. So, I mean, I guess you let the cat out of the bag a little bit. So, you know, what you wrote about was being lonely and stuff, and like, let's kind of get into that.
I think that we underestimate being in a salon with people. There's little things that we don't think about. Like when you're done with a big color correction, you get a few pats on the back, whether you ask for them or not, from the people that watched you go through the day, you know, of all the foils and all the time. Mm-hmm. And in a suite, you have a happy client and then they walk out the door and then you're just there. And you don't get to go, oh, did you see that? Oh, did you see how hard that was? Or, and then you go to Instagram and you post it, and nobody cares as much about a 5-hour color correction as they do about a selfie. And it's defeating a little bit, and I think that was a side I definitely did not expect. And it was hard at first, I think. So I don't know.
Have you readjusted your thinking now about that? So like when you do a 5-hour correction and stuff, like how knowing that you're not going to get those pats on the back, have you had to adjust your thinking a little bit?
Oh yeah, for sure. I have worked hard to know that I'm good at what I do mentally in myself, through classes, and I read a lot of books and podcasts and things like that, and listening to other people, know your worth, or know that I've been in this business and have a good clientele for a long period of time for a reason. And just getting a woohoo, really isn't a make or break in the industry, for sure.
That's got to be hard because, when you're in a salon, you were probably the top dog, and everybody kind of, probably huddles around and watch you work.
It feels that way sometimes.
Yeah. And then when you get to a sweet life. So how did you overcome it mentally? Because I know a lot of people would just, they might not be able to fight or readjust their thought process to get out of that kind of like sinking feeling or lonely feeling. So what was it that allowed you to kind of overcome that?
I go and travel to a lot of classes. Like a lot of classes. And I like to be around people that are in the same boat, and we can have these conversations face to face. That has helped last year immensely. And then
it's like a sweet life 12-step program. Right?
Kind of. I mean, it kind of is. It's nice to know you're not alone, and then when you realize other people kind of feel the same, it just, I don't know, it feels better,
Networking, right? I mean,
exactly.
Surrounding yourself with like-minded people and people that are striving to do the same that you're doing, or trying to make not only yourself but then possibly the industry, because obviously you wrote that and you made yourself vulnerable, and to help others maybe going through the same process, and that's I think that's fantastic.
Right. So, and it feels better when you have people that actually go, me too. Oh my God, that's exactly how I felt. And then it's like, okay, then you don't feel as bad anymore. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I mean, I think, it's just not, you said the lonely feeling, now you have someone where you're not,
right.
You don't have that lonely feeling. You're like, oh, okay, we're all in this together. Yeah. I'll tell you what's come out of the podcast. And I think where I'm starting to see Instagram evolve a little bit is exactly that, is people being vulnerable, and people like talking, people talk about, let's keep it real, which is funny because it's either like real, I'm going to be a jerk, or let's keep it real, let's have real conversation. Right. So I commend you for that. And I actually think that certainly in our industry, we see a little bit of shift on there. I think that, I think our podcast, it wouldn't be as successful if it wasn't for that vulnerable side of it. I think that's kind of what we can bring to it as well. Okay. So a couple questions that I don't know if they're rhetorical questions or whatever, but you wrote in your past is, the first question is, am I enough? So when you're in the sweet life, like, am I enough?
Right. Like how to feel that way, or?
You wrote it in your post, your post was like, am I enough? Am I enough for yourself?
I think that you have to know that you are. You have to look at where you've come and what you have built on your own. I think that's the biggest part of it. Like I will get in my thoughts of, okay, I had a cancellation today. Oh my gosh, am I doing something wrong? Blah, blah, blah. When really I'm being reactive, which I learned from Destroy the Hairdresser. Thank you, Sid. And sometimes I just sit back and go, okay, guess what? I get to eat my lunch and it's fine. And you look back at what you've built throughout the years. I mean, I remember when I couldn't do a one-length haircut, right. And now that I could do it with my eyes closed, and little things like that. And you realize you are enough, and you're damn good at what you do. And you've gotten this far in 16 years for a reason. So
yeah. Believe in yourself, right? And
exactly.
Don't get, I guess, stagnant, right? Continue to grow, continue to,
stay out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I've said that for the last year, and it is so, so true.
Say it again.
Stay out of your comfort zone. If it is uncomfortable, do it.
Love that, right? T-shirt.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
Episode.
Exactly. That's where growth comes, right?
Exactly. Yes. So true.
It really does.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, you brought it up. So you hired Sid and David from Destroyed Hairdresser?
Yes, I did. Yep. And I heard on y'all's podcast, and then I started listening to their podcast, and I hired Sid for about 6 months. And she is really who helped me get out of my mental
Your mental fog.
ditch, I would say. Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Well, first off, a big shout out to hearing it on our podcast, and all we did was laugh on that podcast, Miss.
They're so funny.
We love them, man, and I think what they're doing is they're doing some really great stuff. And
I agree.
I think they're filling a void that's there as well, particularly when it comes to like sweet stylist.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really rad. So shout out to David and Sid and at Destroy the Hairdresser, and we highly recommend listening to their podcast because it's pretty dope.
Yep.
Good people.
Yeah, great people. So looking back, like what would have you done completely different? And what would have you done that was kind of the same or you didn't need as
definitely set boundaries from the beginning, for sure. The first 2 months, I didn't think I'd be able to make it. I was double booking. I was working on my days off. I was coming in early. I was staying late. I was answering calls at all times.
Because you were afraid?
Yes. I thought nobody would follow me. And I would say 99% did. And now you're by yourself. So you don't have a shampoo girl. You don't have a receptionist. You have to add time to check out, had time to clean up and things like that. And I wasn't prepared for that. So I was tired. I didn't think I could do it. So I would say from the beginning, I would have set boundaries. I would have, this is the time I answer calls. Just say no. If you don't have an appointment available, you don't have an appointment available. Right. I mean, doctors and dentists don't stay late or, unless it's an emergency, there is always, an exception to the rule. But that was my biggest thing.
So is that boundary? So you said set boundaries. Like, are you setting the boundaries for Misty, or are you setting the boundaries for your guest?
I think both. Definitely for me mentally, but I'm very transparent behind the chair. Very. I tell my clients, I don't take calls, but Monday through Friday, I don't, I very much let them know exactly how much they're going to pay ahead of time. And for me, that is good for me because I feel like communication, like we're all on the same page and it keeps me consistent. And my client seems to like that. So I think it's boundaries for both, I think, for sure.
I love that. So are you charging, like I know that there's a trend that's happening in the industry where people are charging by the hour. Are you charging by the hour or is it by the service?
I kind of do both. If it's more than one thing, like if it's color and balayage, if it's balayage and foliage, I do it by the hour for sure. It's I cannot piece it all together, and it's easier just to say $80 an hour. It's going to be this many hours. So.
And then what happens if you run over those hours? Do you eat that?
Then that's my fault. So I try, and if I think it's going to be 3, I'll usually say 4 or vice versa. I have made that mistake. So,
right.
Yeah. And if it's less, I let them know that it will only be charged for the hours that I'm working.
And do you charge for processing time?
I do. I don't double book at all. And a lot of times I don't have much of a processing time. I'm pulling the back foils while the front foils are processing and things like that. So I don't think that they feel like I'm just taking a nap in the back while they're
That's really smart, man.
That's fantastic. And so you're a double dipper.
Double dipper.
Yeah.
So a lot of the challenges that you're that you've had, we've actually solved by using our friends over at Schedulicity and their app, like with all the scheduling and they can do all the scheduling online and stuff. Like I don't really take that many phone calls anymore.
Not at all. I don't take any. I mean, they have an app on their phone. Boom, they see my whole calendar for the year, and you know what I mean. Unless you have an emergency, my schedule's on that app. So don't. it's that easy.
Yeah, exactly. And they take care of a lot of the marketing stuff as well. Like we've done like Katie just had a baby, right? So this is cool. So I think you met Katie at Presley Poe and Friends, right, Misty?
I think so. Yes. Yep.
She was the pregnant one, the very, very pregnant one. So anyway, she just had a baby, and what Schedulicity did is they sent out an email to all her clients saying that she's going to be out from this date to this date, but to make sure to schedule when she gets back. So they have some really great marketing stuff. They also have like a 6-week tickler. Like if they haven't seen you in like 6 weeks or so, they'll send you out an email and be like, "Bro, get on the book."
That's genius.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, they have and you can set it up for whatever you want. You can do it for 3 weeks, although your clients would hate you.
A lot of stuff we can't talk about. They're coming out with this summer, and it's going to be game changer.
Yeah, there's some game changing stuff that's happening with them. But what we can talk about, and you actually witnessed it, like at Presley Poe and Friends, Schedulicity, they're giving away $5,000 a month to a hairdresser and $5,000 a month to a barber. So in total,
every month
they're giving away $10,000 for a hairdresser or for a barber to
build their business.
To build their business, exactly. So I mean, you obviously have to be a Schedulicity user. Misty, we got to get you on Schedulicity, dog.
I know. I've been looking into it.
Okay, you're about to get a phone call today. You know that.
Yeah.
You totally are. Anyway, so as shameless of a plug as it is, it really has like changed our business and how we do things, and not even for our business, but for our clients. It's just so easy to do for them. It's been yeah. I've had clients for many, many years that don't seem to have a problem, an issue making the appointment. It's literally like 30 seconds, you know?
Yeah, click 4 buttons and you're in.
Exactly. It just takes you right to the calendar, like boom, 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 boom.
I think a lot of people like doing that too. They don't like having to get in touch with people.
Well, you'd be shocked at how many 2 a.m. Text messages that I get that say, "Hey, someone just booked an appointment." So actually, we are open 24 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, so I think that's a great transition from a commission to a suite life if you're looking for a scheduling system. I'm telling you, check them out because they will save you a lot of headaches.
Yeah, no doubt. And by the way, they have legitimately the best customer service of any company I've ever used. I think they even call their customer service reps rock stars.
Yep.
They got a table full of rock stars to hook you.
We got to meet all rock stars.
All rock stars, man.
We love you guys.
Yeah, for real.
And we love Bozeman. But enough about us, and let's talk about
Misty. So we I mean, you've had some challenges the last year. What's gotten easier over the year? Like, what have you learned and made your life easier? Like systems or anything like that?
Honestly, I really think that getting in a flow in there, knowing, I do my inventory on specific days. It's gotten easier leaving work at work. I do most of my work in my suite. Like I used to come home and do my money on the couch and, my closeout and all that. And now I'm like, no, I'm going to do that 15 minutes in the suite. So when I come home, I'm here with my husband and my son, and that's it. So I think that has gotten a lot easier. I mean, on the weekends, I don't answer calls anymore. I don't answer emails. That's been huge. So it's, Monday kind of gets me back into the groove. And then by Tuesday, I'm like excited to go back to work.
Yeah.
So
organization, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It's a calendar of organization. Make sure you stick to it.
Right.
Not allow.
Plan your time.
I like how you said that you do everything in the suite, because I'm actually guilty of that. Like at the end of the day, I'm just like, I just want to get home,
right.
And then I come home and sit on the couch and do, my paperwork for the day.
Right. So you just made your day longer because you drove home still thinking about work, sat on your couch still thinking about work, put it away, you're probably still thinking about work.
Yeah.
Rather than just get it done in the suite and then come home and melt into the couch.
Right. I'm taking that piece right there.
Same.
That's work in the salon. You're there, you might as well, right?
Yep.
That's pretty dope. And then what? Do you when you do your inventory, your color inventory, do you pull tabs?
I do. It's easy. It's quick.
That's exactly what I do. for those who are wondering what we do is I pull the tabs of the actual color that I've done and I actually throw it in a basket. And then at the end of the week, I just take a photograph of it. I go, this is what I need to take a photograph of it. And then luckily we live very close to a salon centric store. So I can just like mosey on over there. And Cosmoprof, because I use some Cosmoprof colors as well. But yeah, just take a picture of it and then go there. And it just makes life so much easier. And I'm not like, what did I use this week? Or what am I missing? And
exactly.
About every 3 months or so, I kind of have to, maybe every 2 months, I have to kind of like do an overall inventory to see if I've missed anything. Or unfortunately, when you go to Salon Centric, if they're out of a color, I don't remember to buy it the next week. So,
right.
You know,
I'm a pen and paper girl. I every night I pull them and write everything down, and I like writing stuff down. I don't know.
It never works for you, man. I just like at the end of the week.
Yep.
When I get over there, I can go pick up my stuff.
Yep.
Pretty cool. That's awesome, dude. I don't know if the word's proud or whatever, but just to watch you on your journey and to watch the stuff that you've been posting on Instagram. And like, I recommend anybody actually give out your Instagram handle because I think people should start following you because you are pretty vulnerable about your journey and you're always posting pretty inspirational, cool, real stuff.
Yeah. So I'm hair by _Misty Jayne. Jayne. And yes, I'm trying to dig deeper into the business side for sure. I think that's my favorite part. I mean, obviously being behind the chair is great, but helping other stylists know that they can create the career that they have always dreamed of having and love going to work is what I would like to help people. So anyone can reach out to me, send me a message. I am literally an open book.
Except on the weekends. She won't respond on the weekend.
Yeah, except on the weekend.
Might be getting Monday morning text messages. Well, that's awesome, Miss. Thank you very much for joining us and hanging out and giving us a little bit of a little piece of what you've been up to this past year.
I just want to hear some like gunshot like
set it in. If we were a real broadcast company, we would bring that shots in right now.
We're not Michael Cole.
Yeah, exactly. We're not Michael Cole. He has all the sound effects. He's got the kabooms and stuff.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely. Misty Jayne with the Y. Thank you very, very much. And thank you for joining us on your day off.
Yes, thank you.
Please do me you.
Hey, so there it is. Hey, this is a message that we've been trying to bring, I don't know, for the last couple of months, actually since we started the podcast. Hey, so if you like the podcast or if you find that it's useful, please leave us a review, a 5-star review on iTunes. Leave us a rating and a review.
But if you don't like it, forget about it.
Yeah, totally forget about this message. We also want to thank Sarah and Blaine from Pretty Gritty. Sarah and Blaine, they are a band out of Portland, Oregon, and we just want to thank them very much for allowing us to use their song, Pleased to Meet You, on our podcast. That's cool. I think you can find their music on iTunes.
Peace and hair grease.